J'aimerais vous entendre sur la perception, la notion de la perception.
Perception is memory. It is the way the mind describes non-duality. So to be able to express a situation, we use the concept of subject and object, perceiver and things perceived. But that's an afterward description. It doesn't describe a fact, it describes the way our mind functions. It describes the inability of our mind to register fact. So we cut fact in subject and object. But it is pure memory. That's the relative perception. But if we're talking about what is called in the text pure perception, then it is when nothing is perceived and there's no perceiver. So this non-separation is called perception, but it is oneness. So it is not a perception in the usual sense of subject-object relationship. On that level of subject-object relationship, perception is only memory. It is a kind of simplification, like the concept of cause and effect. It is a way of speaking. It doesn't reveal any fact. It reveals our inability to describe oneness.
Éric, it's pretty clear to me that I'm not in control, that I don't choose what I do and how I think and how I feel, what happens in my life. And I read and I hear that there's freedom in this, that not identifying with a doer is liberating. But I don't experience it that way at all. To me, it seems really awful and usually terrifying not to feel like I have any control. Feel sort of just tossed and turned this way and that way without having any say in what happens. Any comments?
It is not that you have no control. It is that the controller is an idea. But of course, if you take yourself for the controller who has no control, it creates a problem. If you think you're a doer who cannot do, of course it creates fear. But when you realize there is no doer, who will be there to be afraid? So you have isolated yourself as an idea from the fact. Your life is an object, you think yourself as a subject, and you have no power on this object. Yes, it creates a problem, but when you will see that you are not a subject, because a subject as such is an object, but that you are the space in which situations come and go, there will be no more space for the fear, for the psychological fear. There will be space for the physical fear, which allowed you to survive in some situation. But the psychological fear will go. It is not you have no control on your life. It is that you are not an idea to have a life. So when you give yourself to a situation, when you ski, when you come down a steep hill and you're skiing very fast, you don't think yourself as a doer. It's just awareness of the hardness of the snow, or softness of the snow, awareness of other person skiing, awareness of the trees, awareness of the so on and so on. You have no time to pretend to be a doer. There's only doing. This doing is not yours. It belongs to the globality. But if you want to remain as a doer, who has no control of his doing, so of course what you describe happened. But you're not a doer. Because there's no such a thing. You've never been a doer, you can never be a doer, so you cannot be a doer. You just pretend. You're pretending you're digesting, you're pretending you're thinking, you're pretending you're doing, but you're not. Digestion happens by itself. It doesn't need you. Walking doesn't need you. There is walking, your body can walk. It doesn't need the idea I'm walking. And as you notice, thinking happens by itself. You don't need to pretend to be a thinker to think. Actually, a thinker is a thought. So, there is nobody who is not thinking. There is not a doer who has no control of his thought. It is that the very fact of a doer happens to be a thought. So there is thinking, but there is nobody to think. Thinking is functional as digesting, assimilating. So don't visualize an autonomy like a gigantic personality which is free of action. It is the opposite. It is action which is free of you. In action there is only acting. There is no actor. When you fall, nobody is falling. There is falling. And the reflex to survive the falling doesn't come from you, it comes from life. But if when you fall, you refer to yourself, I am falling, then the fear will eventually block the ability of the body to survive the fall. So when you fall, you must totally give yourself to the falling. There's nobody falling. The falling of his own law. And something will happen. It doesn't need you. The body is able to function. You only think of being a doer after the situation. This afternoon, some friend come to see you. You talk the whole afternoon, you do whatever you do. And then in the evening, when you describe to your cat, this afternoon, this and this happened, you realize the whole afternoon you didn't think of yourself. You were just alive. You didn't refer to yourself. And then later on you said, oh, I was there this afternoon, I did this and that, I said that, I heard that, and I said that. You didn't. You record the whole situation. So 90% of the time that's what happened. We're recording live, but on the very moment we don't pretend to be a doer. It's only after we said, oh, I was like that, but you were not like that, you were just not there. You were doing. Thinking doesn't need a thinker. Because to be somebody is an idea. You cannot have two thoughts at the same time. You cannot think and know you're thinking. When you know you're thinking, this is a thought. Because the thought I am thinking is replaced by the thinking. In this thinking, sometimes the idea I am thinker comes and goes. Be careful not to try to find an autonomy. Try to become like a Superman, free of the conditioning, free of doer. It's not like that. It is a conditioning which is free of you. But out of fear we see it in the opposite way. We want to be free of the conditioning. This is not possible. The only thing you have to be free of is the idea of yourself. Don't try to be free of anything, because it will not work. It's just another idea. But many moments in the day you don't think of yourself. You're just acting. You don't pretend to be somebody. But when it does happen, more and more you notice that fact.
So how do I get out of the pattern?
You can't, because the one who wants to get out of the pattern is itself the pattern. But when you see that there is a pattern, the seeing is not in the pattern. The pattern is in the seeing. So it is by abiding to the fact, seeing the functioning, that you'll feel more and more free of the functioning. But there is nobody free. When we said feel free of the functioning, it's a way of speaking. Don't take it literally. It is not free as personal freedom. It is not like the stupid who want to be free to go right or to go left. It is not this level of immaturity. It is a space, it is a feeling. You're not free, but there is a feeling of that you're not limited by what is perceived. You're not limited by the fact. Fact abide in your stillness. So you have really nothing to do and nothing you can do. Because the doer is only hindrance. The doer cannot become a non-doer. That's why it is irrelevant to do anything. The one who wants to do something can just go further from himself. That's why direct path, no doing. Any doing can only take you further away from yourself. What you need is not to do something, but it is to see. And seeing is not something you can do, because it is what you are. When you stop pretending doing. So you see yourself asserting, you see yourself defending, you see yourself trying, you see yourself refusing. All this is your beauty. All this is your grace to discover what you are. So don't take any of your characteristics as something to stop you to fulfill life. On the contrary, whatever you feel is fitted to the millimeter to make you alive. The more you see you functioning, more there is happiness. But as long as you fight the functioning, as long as you want to be free of the functioning, more you feel in conditioning. So see with happiness your conditioning. See with happiness your sadness. See with happiness your fear. See with happiness your refusal. See with happiness your pretension. Because it is all what you need. All you know it is what you need. It is what you need because it is what happened in the moment. But to become free is totally ridiculous. Who is there to be free? It's totally conceptual. It is as ridiculous to become free as to become rich. It means nothing. There's nothing to become. The more and more you let life live in you. You don't need to undertake anything. Anything you undertake takes you away of yourself. That doesn't stop you from living. That you do, that you love, that you clean the carrots, that you do your bed, that you water the garden. You don't need any pretension to be a doer. It is just a fact of life. You're going to spend the day laying in your bed. So you're going to walk, so you're going to sing, so you're going to love, so you're going to react, so you're going to... This is life. But you don't need to look for yourself in this activity. So there's going to be a peacefulness in those activities. But careful not to try to be free. If you want to feel free, you'll feel the opposite. But more and more feel the conditioning. It's like with the body sensing. When you feel your body tense, when you're totally open to the body tension, very strangely you feel deeply relaxed. The more you feel the body tense, more you kind of full feeling of deep relaxation. Because the very fact you feel the tension proves you situated yourself in relaxation. It's because you live in relaxation that you can feel the body sense, the body tense. Somebody who is tense cannot feel the tension because he doesn't know any other reference. When you put your hand in the water, you say it is cold because your hand is warm, and so opposite. So I don't need anything any undertaking to change anything. Seeing is given to you freely. But generally we refuse the seeing because we want something, because we expect something, because we prefer something. So we don't see. We see only our interest, only our strategy, only our fear. But that is to be seen to. And seeing our fear is fearless. Fear, as any emotion, is something you feel, and of course you feel it in your body. And when you feel the fear, you're not afraid anymore. When you're afraid, you don't feel anything. When somebody is afraid, he doesn't feel anything. Fear stops the feeling. When you feel the fear, this feeling frees the fear and free you from being afraid. And because you're not afraid anymore, the feeling of fear will spread and expand and totally unravel and reduced to stillness. All this by itself. The more and more you see your motivation, more and more you see your strategy in life, more and more you see your hope, more and more you see your fear, more and more you see your shortcut, more, very strangely, you will feel free. But not a personal freedom. It's very poetic. In poesy, in poetry, you cannot assert anything. You just give a space for everything. There it is the same thing. You cannot be free, because freedom is not an object, but you feel it without feeling it. You know it without knowing it. Like in poetry, the poems say many things, but it doesn't say what the main thing. The main thing remains unsaid. But when you listen to the word, you know we're talking about that. But don't need to say it. So it is a bit in the same way. You know it without ever thinking about it. It is this freedom that it is talked about. But it is not the freedom of a subject who will be free from the object. This is a kind of megalomania.
Would you speak to an observation that I have? I recognize what you say, and yet there's tremendous forgetting of what you say in my life. How to lessen this forgetting, being caught up in the drama.
You must surrender to the fact. Don't try to have a spiritual life. Don't try to remember anything. What you forget, you don't need. When you'll be on your deathbed, you'll forget everything and everybody. And it is your grace, and it is your freedom. Anything you can forget, forget it. Only thing you can never forget, this you must keep. But this it is oneness. It keeps you. The best is to say thank you. No comment. Your life should not have been different than what it was. Your life should not be different than what it is. Your life should not be different than what it will be. If you can surrender to the grace of saying thank you to all the pain you feel, to all the pain you felt, to all the difficulty, don't save yourself. Don't try to become happy. Don't try to become spiritual. Don't try to keep everything and give up everything. You don't need anything. You certainly don't need to remember anything. You need to forget everything. And to forget everything, you need to let everything come alive. Your life begins now. Stop pretending having a past. It is a story. Your life begins now and your life finishes now. There is no room for a future. Future is a fantasy, it's fear. Without fear there is no future. It is only then, in this moment with no past and no future, that what you're really looking for will come to you. Never in expectation, never in strategy, never in anticipation. You're looking too far. You're looking in the future. You're looking too far. You're carrying the past. What you are is in between. You give yourself totally to the moment, no more thinking, because thinking is always in terms of past and future. You cannot think the present. So the past is finished. It is gone. All the caress you receive, you experience. All the beating you experience, it is finished. Maybe it was true at some point, but it is finished now. It is gone. Let it go. The future is a fantasy, it's an hypothesis. Maybe you come out of this step, you fall, it's finished. It is completely imagination to pretend the future. It is lack of common sense. So, you're going to die in a few seconds, in a few minutes when you come out of the steps. And if you realize your future, your past is finished, it is gone. Your youth is gone, it is finished. There's nothing to remember, nothing to regret, to love or to hate. What remains to you? What remains to you, it is intensity. It is presence. You are not present because it is thinking. But what remains is presence. You cannot look for it, it looks for you. Are you going away in the future or in the past? See the mechanism. When you said, "How can I do?" You're going away. It is closer to you. You're looking too far because you're looking for an object, and it is not an object. You're looking toward it, but it sees you. You cannot see it. You have to become the scene. You'll be seen. Your functioning is seen. But you can never be a seer. The ego is seen. The personality is seen. The mechanism is seen. I can never see anything. When I said I see something, it's a fantasy. So it is waiting for you. Never in the future. Don't draw any conclusion. Forget what we said now. And see how it lives in you.
In the light of what's just said up till now from the beginning, what's the point in going through this physical experience?
What is the point of seeing the full moon? What is the point of laughing? What is the point of beauty? There's no point. It is the psychological mind who need a point.
So what are we doing going through it? What's happening? Why is it there?
Why the decadent way of thinking? You must be like a child. A child don't ask why, it's just playing. Life is playing. You're too serious. You want an answer. You never get an answer. Oh yes, you get many answers. You get the religious answer. If you're a little more bright, you get a scientific answer. But it is not answer. It is ideology. But a child, why does a child play? Ask your child, why are you playing? He cannot understand your question. Life is playing. To play means you're free of end gaining. When you play, you win or you lose. That's the beauty of it. You can do both. Life decides the winner and the loser. Otherwise we cannot play. It is your richness to be a loser, to be a winner. But it doesn't bring anything. It's just what is needed for the play. So the idea why it is because the play is not intense anymore. You have forgotten the rule. The rule is gratuity. So you must again discover to do things free from endgaining. What you do serves no purpose. That's the beauty of it. That's the freedom of it. Only the serious people, the religious people, see a purpose in this and that. What purpose? What suffering could be of any purpose? Why a war could be of any purpose? When you come out, when you're going to walk on so many little animals, what is the purpose? Why do you need a purpose? When your cell is fighting a cancer, when your cell is fighting a cold, why do you need a purpose? Life is purposeless. It is our miserable little mind who live in fear when you constantly to what is the purpose of my life? What is the purpose of the society? What is the purpose of playing? There is no purpose in playing. Why do you make love? What is the purpose of making love? What is the purpose of loving? What is the purpose of touching, of laughing, of singing? The word purpose is purposeless. Now if you strip all this element, you come back to the intensity. When you love, it is not for any purpose, it is intensity. Feeling is intensity. When you feel fear, it is intensity. That's why some people pay to be afraid. That's why you go to see a very sad movie. You're going to cry. And you go again to see it maybe next year. Why? It's beautiful to cry. It's beautiful to feel sad. All emotion is beautiful. When you let it come. So you're paying the movie. But when your husband sleeps with a neighbor and you cry this, you don't want to feel this sadness. But for the movie, you're okay. In the movie, the husband of the movie sleeps with the other person and you feel very sad for the wife. Then you're going to pay again to see that. It's beautiful, this sadness. But when you get it for free, you're refusing it. Because you have an idea that things should be different. That is the purpose in life. And among that purpose, your husband shouldn't sleep with a neighbor. It is a respectful ideology. For you, maybe not for your husband. Purpose is a sad word. We don't need it. You cannot make a society with purpose. With purpose you make war. You prepare for war. That's what purpose creates. You create fear in a child. When you give a purpose to a child, you can give him a purpose to fight for, to die for. Be purposeless. Then space comes to you again. Happiness comes.
I used to read books on the writer like Jean Klein, and nowadays I can't read them. I can't even read a few sentences. I get bored with it or something. I'm just not interested. Maybe if this is like the living without purpose, maybe there's just any kind of reading about that is purpose, and that's why it doesn't engage me anymore. Maybe just eventually you just not interested in reading about the subjects that we're talking about. Read in books about like by John Klein, or maybe eventually you just have no interest in reading, and you only feel engaged when you're by the subject, when you're maybe on your own, or when you're in the presence of a teacher or someone who has written these books.
Why on hell would you like to read anything? It's cutting the trees and polluting and taking your time. To read is a lack of spontaneity. You must play, you must not read. Reading is for dead people. But if your life, you don't read, you live, you dance. There's no time to read, then life is too short. Don't read the thing. There's nothing in the book. In the book you find ideas. What you need is not ideas. Life will bring to you what you need. And maybe sometimes it's a book. But then it's not a book anymore. It is something else. It is at the right moment, at the right space, in the right space. Yes, the right meeting with a lover, or with a book, or with a flower, or with a cat, or with a country, or with a house. It's the right thing, but there's nothing in the book, nor in the lover, nor in the house, nor in the flower. Everything is in you. But just at that very moment, this moment of openness because you used to do all thinking, you need a cause for that. So you say, oh, I read that book and I felt this, or I look at this flower and I felt that, or I slept with that neighbor and I feel that now. Yes, but it's not true. The openness is causeless. So there's nothing in books. In books you get more. You get knowledge. Knowledge for what? All you're going to learn in book, you're going to forget before you die. You're going to be senile. You're going to have Alzheimer. You're going to be in your bed. You will forget everything you read, everything you understood. It will become a total waste. Everybody you loved is finished. Everybody who loved you, it is finished. You don't remember them, you don't recognize them. You slept with them 500 times, you will not recognize them. You love so much them, you don't know their name anymore. You don't know why they are there. They pretend to be your son, you don't even know who is this person. Some pretend to be your wife, you don't know what he's talking about. But there's something which is going to remain there. What it is? When you cannot remember anything, and then when you come to the moment of dying, when you don't see anymore all your lovely friends, when you don't hear anymore all they whistle in your ears, when you don't feel anymore the one who still are obsessed with holding your hand, the one who want to help you so much. All this is gone. You don't see them, you don't hear them, you don't smell them. You feel nothing anymore. What is there at this moment? Everything is there. Intensity is there. Because you're there. Life is presence. It is not in thinking, it is not in feeling, it is not in perceiving. But all this you give it up naturally when you die. A little before, if you get Alzheimer, if you're lucky. But in any case, even without Alzheimer, I promise you, just when you die, all this is gone. Nothing you ever made, nothing you ever understood, nothing you ever thought would be of any value. You are this awareness. So, what you do, where you sleep, what you read, what you don't read, where you live, which kind of clothes you wear, what you're eating, this is just for the neighbor to witness as a pastime. But you should not even know about it. Because it is It is not life. It is the expression of life. At some point you abide in life. This abiding, you have to do it. Now, when you die, to do it before, your life will be happier. In any case, it will be done. So, whatever you read is relevant for that. When Nang didn't know to read, but he was a free man. Some people have read everything, all the texts of the tradition, they know so much, Mr. Eckhart or Ibn Arabi, or Shankaracharya or Maharaj or Ramana Maharshi, they can quote anything. But what do they know about themselves? What do they know about their absence? It is that what is important. It is what you cannot know which is important. The known is irrelevant. It is the unknown, it is your life. Anything you know, it is a waste of time. The heart of life is what you don't know, because it is not knowable, because it is not an object of knowledge. So don't accent the way you live. Don't accent whatever you do. This is, why not? You read or you don't read. It is your job, you read. You can read for joy, for beauty. Some people have a talented mind and they enjoy reading, why not? Some people do boxing, they have talented hands. But nobody is doing boxing because it's going to make you free. And nobody is reading, thinking it will help you to understand yourself. Because it doesn't work that way. To understand yourself, you must live with fact, moment to moment. You must be open to your strategy, to your affirmation, to your vanity, to your fear, to your anxiety. That's life. But not in book. There's nothing wrong with books. There's nothing wrong with anything. The teacher or my teacher, I read everything, knew everything. But it is not because of that he was a holy man. It is because he was abiding in the unknown. But as a job, he was a pandit, and pandit in India is supposed to know everything. So he did it as a job. So what you read is like if you ask me what is the best way of eating. It is as irrelevant. Am I smoking or not? Someone said, well, nowadays most of the holy men are smokers. In Montreal, you have a heavy smoker, a very wise man from Croatia. In France, we have a very beautiful woman, she's a heavy smoker. She's a very open woman. Stephen Jourdain, when he died, was a very, very heavy smoker. In India, we had Maharaj, who was the winner, the golden smoker of all. So, most men nowadays are smokers. So maybe you should try taking smoking. Maybe that makes you close, it's possible. What you do is irrelevant. Don't even think about it. If you don't think about it, it will come naturally. You smoke or you don't smoke. Maharaj was a BD dealer, and so he gave cancer to all these buyers, and as a kind of compassion, as a kind of affection to all the people he gave cancer selling his BD, he himself smoked as much as them, a little more, and he had cancer too. It was a kind of compassion. So it's a way to express non-separation. But as such, what we do is irrelevant. The more you abide in the gratuity, the feeling of life, to do things for no reason, You play with no reason, you love for no reason, you burn for no reason, you fight for no reason, just because it comes to you. The more you come alive, and not because of what you do, but because you don't accent anymore what you do. You accent the light in which what you do appears and disappears. That's what is important. But as long as you accent what you do, you're sort of glued to the fact. But then you may change the guru, you may change the tradition, you may become a Greek monk, you may become a sadhu, you may become a Muslim, grow a beard, you may become whatever. But becoming will never bring you back to what you are. Becoming take you away from yourself. So don't look in becoming. Give yourself to some moment of non-becoming, between two thoughts, two perceptions. When you go to sleep in the night, give yourself some moment in daytime where you stop pretending having a past, a future, and that moment will become alive. And then you'll see what comes. You'll see if you read Jean Claude or not, the what for. You read it or not, it's the same thing. Many stupid people have read Jean Claude, they remain stupid. Many holy people never read Jean Claude, and they are holy people. So doesn't bring anything. There's nothing wrong to read Jean Claude. But you must read it freely. Then it is beauty. Then, if you expect nothing, then it may give you everything. But anything you expect from it, you will not get it. Because expectation closes you from anything, from everything. Non-expectation is itself your fullness. So when you read Jean Klein in fullness, it enriches your fullness, because it gives you fullness and another layer of richness. But if you read it to find richness, you only find concept. Then you can discuss with your friend the difference between Maharshi and Maharaj and Jean Klein and have a great evening. But go to a movie, it's softer for your brain.
What is it that brings death before dying, physically?
Seeing the perspective. Seeing in one instant that you cannot become an object. That you are not an object. That the only thing you can find is an object. As long as you pretend to be a subject. So looking for yourself is going away. Give up the search. Give up the expectation. It is looking for you. You don't have to look for it. Live in humility. It is not for you to find. You have to be found. The light will light you. You cannot find light. Light is not an object. Abide in the fact. Don't make a single move to change your life. Accept your sickness. Accept your difficulties. They are not difficulties, they are not sickness. Your sickness is health. Your difficulty is grace. You're giving yourself to find what you really want. So it's not something you must overcome. It is something you must listen. Live moment to moment with the fact. No arrogance to become free of anything. You have exactly what you need now. If you don't have it now, you will not have it later. You have to say yes now. Not to what you like, not to what you think you should have. No, what you have. And it is not it is the opposite of abdication. Because you don't accept what you abdicate, you accept abdication. So, when we said to accept totally your life now, this acceptation dissolves your life. We don't care about your life. Your life is irrelevant to yourself. So when you let your life die now, it is finished. It is space for another life. Life of the moment. Life is no security. It is a game. You live, you die. You know that we have a choice. It's beautiful, you see all your attachment, and you must let them go. All your friends are dying. You cannot take anything with you. It is beautiful. You have a beautiful house. You cannot take it with you. You have a beautiful mind. Well, too bad. You cannot take it with you. You know so many things. You read all the Advaitas and the Sufis. You cannot take it with you. Memory will go. So all what you pretend to have, what you're fighting for, you realize it is nothing. It doesn't work for anything. You have to give it away. This is beautiful. Your health is finished. You have to give it away. As you use, you have to give it away. Everything. It is a beauty to see that. It's a beauty to see the irony of life. When you're young, you can do so many things. And you know nothing. When you're old, you know so many things. You cannot do any more things. It's extraordinary. It's a joy to see that. Make you so happy. Make you love of yourself. Now that you know so much, you're too old to do it. And before you knew nothing, you could have done everything. This is the gift of life to see this irony. Life is there to lose, not to win. This losing is winning, when it is done willingly. But it is dying before dying. So give it to yourself happily. See the beauty of letting things go. Everything which is dear to you, you say bye-bye. Happily. It was only there to push you in the first place toward this openness. You didn't think that your children will live, you didn't think that your wife will remain, you didn't think that people will love you all their life, you didn't think people will be faithful to you, will be honest with you, you didn't think your body will last in health. So, be happy. Life is taking care of everything, helping you to free yourself from what you don't need. Letting this vision come to you is dying before dying. See, when you escape it, by expecting, there's nothing to expect. Because you can only expect an object. And what you wanted is this nudity, this non-objective space. No more expectation. You're not going to make it. And it is your grace. See when you're refusing grace by hoping maybe, no. It is too late, it's finished. You cannot make it. That is your grace. See when you're refusing, by hoping maybe this, maybe. See the still movement in your heart to we have a little hope. This little hope is death. It stops you from life. You must give up all hope. All hope to find a way. There is no way. This is happiness. This is the fire of happiness. Let it really burn yourself. But see when you refuse it. Because you have a little hope. Because you have little some way to escape the reality.
Well, this might seem a little bit unrelated to what you've been talking. Well, actually, talking about things pushing you in life towards openness. And lately, I've been having problems with kind of man-made things. You could call it allergies or something, but getting a reaction to things like these days instead of real wood. They'll use things made with wood dust and a lot of glue and formaldehyde. They have it called laminate flooring, or even like a book or a newspaper. They use a lot of formaldehyde and bleach. And so I've been having a reaction where I just feel sick, like I've been poisoned or something. And it makes me wonder if there is a medicine you can take, but it makes me very tired. Anyway, it makes me wonder if maybe it's God, maybe it's a message from God, so to speak, saying that I should, it's kind of pushing me towards back to nature, back to the kind of a natural life, to live in nature. And I've found before that nature can be a teacher in itself, just feeling very peaceful in nature. And like at my uncle's farm, practically hear the grass grow, and it was, but I felt like it was practically communicating with nature, I guess, I don't know, communing, but I just wonder if maybe this sickness is not something wrong with me, maybe it's like a message that pushing me towards nature, back to nature, to the pastoral life.
Less you understand, more you listen. Maybe a natural response, but don't make it an ideology, because farmers, people who live in the farms and in the nature, are not less stupid than others. They have more abilities to live in nature. If you go to the eastern part of Orissa in India, you find people who live like 2,000-3,000 years ago. They are extremely able to survive in this situation, otherwise they'd be dead. That doesn't give them anything more than this ability. People who live in the Arctic North have ability to survive in high cold. well, we're happy for them, otherwise they'll be dead. But it doesn't give them any more. So maybe you feel to live in the farm, or to live with the Inuit, or to live in India, or whatever. Why not? It is functional. But don't make it as you don't need a pretext to sleep with somebody, to marry somebody, to buy a car, to steal a car, to do something or not. You don't need any pretext, any justification. You feel something, maybe you're allergic to, yes, some element, why not? But be careful, because there's more pesticide in the countryside than in town. But if you find a place where they don't breathe too much, then it'll be okay. But there's much more toxic elements in most farms than in the city, because of all the chemicals they use. But again, you must follow your body. Your body is an antenna, so you have to listen to your body. If your body is not able anymore to live in town, and if your body feels better in certain parts, that you respect it, it's intelligence. But you don't need to put God there. He has enough to do. Like when you make war, well, you don't need God on your side. You make war. If you better, you win. If you less good, you lose. God is very busy. So keep it simple. You listen to your body, and yes, if you're rich enough to live in the countryside, to have family there, and if your body feels well, it is very respectful to do that. But don't draw any conclusion, because Maharaj was a very open man, lived in the Ketwali area of Bombay. It was a street with all the prostitutes and all the little boy in cage you could buy for a very small amount of money. He was very happy there. He was living in the little room where when you will sit in this room and a couple of hours, when you will come out, you, out of respect to see a guru in India, you wear white, of course, and you come very clean in the morning. When you will go back in the hotel in the evening, your buttock will be black, so the floor was clean. You had to survive in the level of smoke you cannot imagine. Of course, no insect could live there, so there was no rat in this room, which is very rare in India, because rats would have suffocated with the smoke of the incense and what it was, and the bidit he was smoking. That was the only good point, you could say. Nothing could survive, nothing could breathe there. The noise was absolutely infernal outside, and the pollution. And Maharaj was teaching happiness. So I'm not saying that you must try to create the same kind of room and spend all your money in incense and bidis, but there's no relation. Happiness has no way to be expressed. It can be expressed in any way. So don't think that any way of life will bring you closer to happiness. But you have a body. It is your duty to listen to it. And if your body can make it in town, it's more happy in the country. And if you can make it, it is very respectful to do that. But don't think that to have your body more at ease in the country will make you more clear. Because maybe staying here with the pollution and the allergy and so on will create so much sickness in you that this sickness will be your teacher. And maybe when you go to the farm of your uncle, you're going to breathe so well, and maybe your body can integrate pesticide with happiness. And maybe you're going to meet a beautiful farmer's daughter and marry her and have 65 child and grow a farm and become very happy and waste your life in doing. As you will have remained here, you will get a great cancer. You will have been to the hospital with the terminal people, and then maybe you will have had the ability to totally surrender yourself to the fact and see beauty. So there's no need to try to have a cancer for that. But you cannot know where happiness will strike you. It will strike you in a moment where you stop pretending to be a doer. So no way of life have any influence on this pretension. You can be a fascist, you can be a communist, you can be violent, you can be non-violent, you can be totally sick or extremely healthy. All this is of no care. So you follow what is natural for you. Either it is natural to be healthy, we respect that. If it is natural to be unhealthy, we respect that too. We don't think that any of these things matters, because they don't. They don't matter to realize that you are not, to realize your openness. So, let your life choose for you. Your body go to the country, well, follow him. But don't create this ideology that it is better. God take you there. Not God take you in the city first. God first give you this allergy first.
Well, maybe I'll stay sick in the city instead of moving to the country and having 65 children. Might be better to stay here.
You can have some here too. But you must see the direction that the fulfilling of what we are is not linked to anything. So stop using your life as a tool to understand, because it doesn't work that way. It works the opposite way. It is understanding, it is the fulfilling which is going to change your life. You're going to live differently because you are fulfilled that what you are is not an object. So you don't need to love and to be loved. So you don't need to be listened, to be respected. So you don't need to be understood. So you don't need any more of this pathology. And because of that, you live really differently. You breathe really differently. You think really differently. When you stop harassing your surrounding with your need, you want the surrounding to listen to you, to be faithful to you, to attend to you, to understand you, to respect you. This is fascism. Maybe fascism has a meaning and of intelligence in the political field. This is not my. I have no opinion with that. But fascism has no room in openness. So as long as I use my surrounding as a slave to attend my need, nothing can happen. It is there I must look. It is there I must challenge myself. You ask nothing of your surrounding. That's the first space of your happiness. You ask nothing. You never open your mouth to comment your surrounding, to complain. Your wife sleep wherever she wants. Your children do whatever they want to you. Stop complaining, harassing them whether they should do or not. And your wife and your mistresses, or she should see you, or she should respect you. She doesn't need to respect you. But you know that because she doesn't. This is life. You must live with fact. Not fantasy that I should be respected. Why on hell should you be respected? Why on hell should you be understood? Why on hell should you be loved? This you must do yourself. You must love people who don't love you. You must respect people who don't respect you. You must understand people who don't understand you. But as long as you ask your surrounding to do that for you, you in total obscurity. Ask nothing from my surrounding. That's the first step to spiritual life. Any comment I dare to do, it means I understand nothing. My surroundings should treat me exactly as they do because it is life. It may change in the next second. But as long as I feel I should be treated differently, it means I have understood nothing. I should not be treated differently. Because I am not. Of course it may change in the next second. But I don't have the slightest dynamism toward that, toward this change. It's happening or not. my friend may be faithful or not, it is his problem. It is a problem. I don't have any problem there. By the way, spirituality is just words. There's no point to read the Upanishad and then feel sad because the person you live with sleeps with a neighbor. You're not reading the Upanishad, you're just escaping your inability to face life by acquiring some totally irrelevant knowledge without understanding. So you must find life in the fact of life, in the very life. Spirituality is only there. How am I treating my surrounding? Am I expecting? Am I asking something? Am I asking you to see me in a different way that you do? Am I asking you to love me in a different way than I do? Am I asking you to understand me in a different way that you do? Am I asking you to respect me in a different way that you do? It begins there. Only when you stop harassing your surrounding with your demand, with your comment, that you can have a little chance eventually to be able to read the holy text. Otherwise, it's just a caricature. But in this, seeing yourself in action is the intensity of life. And this you can do as well in the countryside or in the city, with or without pollution, with or without sickness.
If perception is memory, I guess question also is memory.
The question will anticipate an answer from memory. But the question which is a kind of fulfilling of the answer is not memory. It is a rhythm, like life is a rhythm. And the nature of light is to appear as shadow. Because we only see light when there is an object. If there is no object, you cannot see a ray of light. You see a ray of light because there is sparkles of dust which reflect the light. So you can only see light when there is an object. You can only see the subject when there is an object to reflect it. So traditionally, a real question is a reflection of the answer. It is because of the fulfilling of the answer that your mind is bringing about to express this fulfilling in the shape of a question. And already by expressing it, and if you express it with high intelligence, that means without leaving any space for an answer, because there is no answer, the question will unravel in you, travel in you, in all the different layers of your mind, and one morning the question will resume in the answer, and then it will be being answer, being not in an objective sense, being knowledge. When there is nothing known and nobody to know. So the question one asks is a kind of one of the first rhythm, I would say, of the fulfilling. So there's a moment in life you ask the question loudly in a certain way. But still, at this very moment, it must be clear that you don't ask for the answer. You ask because it's a kind of you fulfill something. You don't know what, but you fulfill it. Otherwise, you don't ask the question. If you don't fulfill it, you try to seduce a new wife, you try to buy a new car, or you try to learn Sanskrit, or you try to buy a new carpet. But when you ask a question, it means you already fulfill that there's something else in life than buying and loving and making a new child. So it is a fulfilling. But slowly the fulfilling will reduce the tendency to ask a question to somebody. And it will become living with the question. Living lovingly with the question. That means you leave it as with protection. You keep this protection free of any answer. You keep this question free of any representation. You keep this question free of any thinking. So the question has no room to evolve, no room to spread it. It reduces as kind of energy, as kind of intensity. Then it becomes the ultimate question, which cannot be sought. The ultimate question is not the who am I. Who am I is a toy for animals. It's a symbol of the highest question. But when somebody said, who am I, it means nothing. It is just word. But Charles, the real questioning is not out loud. It's not something you ask neither as yourself. It's something you live with it. It becomes intensity. It becomes, we say in Sanskrit, it becomes tapas. It becomes fire. It becomes energy. It burns you of all tentative to find any answer. So this questioning will come in all aspects of your life. When you're with your mistresses, with your wife, with your body, with your dog, with your car, with your new apartment, or with your sickness, there will be this questioning. But not in word, in intensity. Everything will bring you back to this questioning. And in a way, all your life will reflect this questioning. And because it never shit on this questioning by looking for an answer. This questioning needs total dedication. This you must really be faithful to, not your wife. This questioning is the only thing you give yourself totally in faithfulness. It doesn't accept any competition. As long as there is any energy toward any objective direction, this questioning remains a mundane questioning. But sooner or later, this questioning becomes what is said in the Chinese tradition, the only affair, my only business, the sole affair. Everything else becomes secondary. You still do your bed in the morning, you still comb your hair if you have some, you still clean the floor the Sunday, and you still cook with the children. But this is secondary for you. It should be done, you do it. But the questioning becomes the center of life. And this questioning has no more question. Doesn't look for any more answer. It is pure intensity. Only there. This questioning at some point is totally unraveled and totally withdraw in the answer. And the answer is oneness. This questioning was a kind of fulfilling of the answer. It is a sign that grace has chosen you to live with the questioning. But when I ask the question, in a way I shit on the questioning. It is a total dedication. Don't violate the questioning with the answer. It doesn't need any answer. You need living with it and let it die. What remains is the answer. It is not an answer you can ever know, because it is not objective. It is being the answer. So that is the traditional way. Thank you for coming.